I want to ask you about Representative Grier, Helena. One of the differences between you and Representative Grier is the fact that he's been in office for some years now. You haven't. You are an outsider running, to become an elected official for the first time. Do you think that voters should give him credit for his experience? What does that count for?
Of course. I mean, listen, I want credit for my experience in the business world. And before that, I worked in the nonprofit sector and in service industries. And, I want credit for all of my experience as well. So I definitely give him credit for that. He has a mixed record. Some people liked him, some people hated him. I've knocked at doors where people complained about him on both sides of the aisle. But that's going to happen, right? If you're a politician, you can't make everybody happy. There's always going to be somebody who is unhappy with you. But I do think that he has shown his cards, that he listens to political bosses. He follows their lead. If you look at his voting record, he only votes yes when the legislation has gone through all the committees and the supermajority, Republican majority, has decided it is a bill that they want passed. And if he doesn't vote, if he doesn't agree with it, he doesn't vote. So he's not standing up for everybody's values. He is following. And I think that is because his survival as a politician is dependent on that. I think he's been in office in one way or another. He started on the Chesterfield City Board of Aldermen 10 years ago, right? So he is climbing the political ladder, and he has got to do what they say. There's very little wiggle room in the Republican Party right now. Right now, it hasn't always been that way, but right now in the Republican Party, you must follow. And you cannot deviate without consequences. And I think he's aware of that. And I think he's a victim of that, but I wish he wasn't. I wish he had a little bit more ability to stand up for the values of our district, as opposed to these, frankly, national agendas on states. We're a target because of the supermajority of the Republicans right now. Think tanks and people with national agendas see us as a place where they can get things passed, and they can test the waters if it's going to, be taken up by the Supreme Court at some point later down the line. And they see us as a test case and a place to put in the most extreme legislation. And I think he's doing what he has to do to survive in the Republican Party. And I am not a career politician. I am running because I want to serve the people of District 100. I never thought that this is where I would be right now. I decided in 2017 that somebody needed to run as a Democrat just to have a choice at the polls. And nobody would. I was asking people to run. I said, would you run? Would you consider running for office? No. And I realized that because I basically work for myself, because I have the financial flexibility to take time off if I need to, because I have a healthy family, and I'm not a caretaker for an ill person or a person with special needs, that I was able to do it. So I decided, if it's important enough for me to try to get somebody else to run and nobody will, then it's my responsibility to do this. This is my time to serve. I've never been involved in politics before. And frankly, I've given money to charities, but I have never done the hard work of public service. And it is service, and it is difficult. And so I give him credit for his 10 years so far. But I think this is my time to serve and to give back to a country, quite frankly, that has done very well by. I've done very, very well by. It's done great by me. This country has allowed me to follow my dreams, to try things, make mistakes, start over, and I've been very lucky. And this is my time to give back.
Well, I think you're not only giving voters a choice, but you're giving them an incredibly compelling choice, Helena, with your candidacy.